Traffic heading in and out of downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. The setting for our broadcast tonight. Welcome. Hey, Dave.
In 2018, the Minnesota Timber.
All right, David, thanks.
よ
You
し
know,
ル
Chris,
ー
it
ズ
seems
戦
like
だね
every year the NBA gets a little more athletic. Talk about
Yeah,
how
久しぶりじゃないよ、
that
ルーズって
aspect of the game has changed.
であいつとのマッチアップだよねマッチアップじゃないか
Kevin Durant is 6'11
いる
and
ね
he
レ
plays
ブロン
the
と
two
対峙
guards.
してるわ
That's how the game is changing.
レブロンに
It's
集めよ
no
う
more big guys go to that end, little guys go to that end. Now you have to be a skilled basketball player. You have to be able to shoot, dribble, and pass at every
Yeah,
position.
Mashka.
The way of just the one-sided guy, that is gone out the game. That's a dinosaur. I love it. You have to be more athletic, definitely, but the skill set. You got to make sure you can play basketball, and
で
that
ち
way,
ょ
no
っ
matter
と前
what size
回
you
と
are,
バ
5'9"
ッジ
to
を変えた
7
んだよ
foot,
ね
you have to be equal in skill, and I love that.
Wow, I do too. And now the Lakers starting group. Green and LeBron at the 2 and the 3. Up front, it's Kuzma and Davis. And it's D in at the point. And for Minnesota, Culver out there with Napier. Then there's Marjanovic. Then there's Walden. And it's Crowder in at the 4 slot. Good, nice play there from Napier.
最近ね
And
ずっと編集
passes
して
like
て
this
後
brings
半の
teams
試合がよ
closer
く、
together.
飛んでたと思うん
AW
で
is
すけど
solid at just knowing when
ちょ
to
っとね
deliver.
原因が
Now here's LeBron. 11 points for him in that last game
原因っ
against
ていうかね
Washington.
1個前半の動画を撮ってその処理をしてる最中に次の動画を撮り始めると
And
多
off there,
分
he
音
misses
飛
his
び
first
する
shot
ん
of
だ
the
と思う
night. Here's Davis. And he gets the
Nice.
basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one
最近そ
more.
のね多分それが原因だろうなっていうのが分かったん
Inside
で
scores in the NBA.
多分この
Davis
試
has
合
got
と
to
か
be
からは
right
大丈夫
at
じゃな
the
いかな
top. When
前
he
回
gets
と
his
か
hands
は
on the ball down low,
多分そ
you
こ
might
ら
as
辺
well
がねよ
just
く分
count
か
it.
ってなくてなんでフリー
Now
ズするん
here's
だろう
Napier. This game he had 10 points.
いや最悪
Here's Marjanovic, and the layup is
で
good.
かいな
I wouldn't want to be the guy who has to keep him off the boards. He is a beast on the offensive glass.
うわー
Now
マジか
here's
マジ
James.
か出してくれなかった
Guarded by Walden. LeBron outside. And the dunk by James.
Man, you gotta love watching James Scott for the slam. I mean, demonstrating how high he can get up off the drive.
And a big summer for the Lakers, trading for Anthony Davis for a time. Greg, it even looked like they had a
バッ
great
チを
shot
ねそう
landing
変えたい
Kawhi
よね
Leonard.
He ends up choosing the Clippers, which gives rise to a compelling rivalry. The nexus of NBA basketball has shifted to the city of angels. Whichever team you root for, LA fans will
Yeah,
have a lot
Mashka.
to celebrate.
And Walden throws it down.
And that is hustle right there.
なんか
Gotta
シルバ
respect
ーぐらいのやつ
seeing
を
Walden go so
まあブロン
hard
ズに
on the
下げて
offensive
違
glass.
うやつとかもちょっとバッジの種類を増やすみたいな
D, defended by Crowder. No good from D. And here's Napier. He'll
Yeah,
bring it
yeah.
up for Minnesota. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last
So, Mashka,
matchup with Boston.
Yeah, tough game on the road. The guys you're defending, obviously comfortable shooting in their own building. You've got to find a way to break their rhythm.
You gotta be locked in on the road. I mean, when there's no cohesiveness on defense, you're in danger.
And here's Kuzma. After Jarrett Culver was
Yeah,
able to get the
maji.
triple. Here's
Highland
Davis,
there, kiddo.
and he uses the glass on the layup. Davis has got his second bucket of the night.
割と
Just
ス
so
ペースはちゃんと取
resourceful
れてるけど
as a
な
player. Davis gets the job done inside in all sorts of ways, and that's one of them right there, crashing the offensive glass, getting that second chance bucket.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
And guys, at this point in his career, Anthony Davis just entering his prime. Crazy to think when you look at what he's already accomplished thus far.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Vonleh's checked in for Marjanovic.
やっとね
Oliver Covington comes in for Walden.
やば
And Andrew Wiggins is subbed in for Culver. And
緊
Los
急事態
Angeles
宣
will
言
go for a
が
different
ちょっ
look
と
here.
落ち着き
DeMarcus
つつあるの
Cousins,
かな
he's checked in
ま
for
あ解
Davis.
除熊
Howard
本は
comes in for Kyle Kuzma. Murray's
ま
checked
あみ
in
んな
for
普通に
James.
買い物しか行って
And
るし
it's Caldwell Pope in for Danny Green. And we are talking about Anthony Davis. How do you even put into words what he is able to do on the basketball floor?
I mean, he's entering the conversation among the best big
で
men
仕事の方
of
も
all time on a nightly basis, dominating in so many
時短営業
facets
じゃなくなってく
of the game.
るん
Really,
だよね。
it's
もうあと2日ぐらいで。
Wide open look here for Murray. Rebound, Minnesota.
やったな。
And guys, not sure where his head was on that shot. Not what this offense was designed to create.
Come on, you can't be selfish. You got to be willing to make the next pass. Otherwise, you're just predictable.
Now here's Crowder.
あれ取れそう
He's
だけど
coming
な。
off a 13-point game against the Celtics in Boston. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Covington. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Lakers have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. From deep. And he trains the three. Good-looking shot there from deep.
Well, the season still has some time to go, but right
あ
now,
の距離は無
you
理だ
have
ろ
to think that Che is the
あ、そう、
outside
バッチね。
favorite to be rookie
レ
of
ン
the
ジエ
year.
クステンダーか。
He's just done
選
so
手の打
much
て
for
る
this team
効
all
果、
season.
効果範
Right,
囲。
I'd be hard-pressed to name another rookie that has come in and transformed their team the way that Che has elevated this roster. Anything can happen. We know that with the awards. But right now, it's Che's race to lose.
Amazing floor awareness from Cousins. Skilled at spotting the open man.
And here's Napier. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And that concludes the first quarter of play.
もうちょっと決めれるはず。
And if you're just... Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Marjanovic checked in for Vonleh. Walden comes in for Robert Covington. Culver's checked in for Jake Lehman. And it's Napier in for Andrew Wiggins. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Anthony Davis is checked in for Cousins. Kyle Kuzma comes in for Caldwell Pope. Green, he's checked in for Bradley. And it's D in for Rajon Rondo.
いやー、マジか、取れ
Napier
ん
is
か
out。there with Culver. Then there's Walden. Then it's Jay Crowder. And it's Marjanovic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
Yeah, outstanding
Massive foul,
job
not
there
that.
of taking the harm and still able to finish.
Minnesota shooting their third free throw attempt of the game. Free throw drops for Napier. There's always at least one joker on every roster. Who was the funniest guy, Chris, you ever played alongside?
Oh, man, by far it's Jay Will. Jay
Was
Will,
he?
White Chocolate. Man,
いやー、触られた。
before the game, after the game, during the game, he would, you know, it'd be a bad call by a ref or something. He'd say something to the ref would laugh and pat him on the butt. I mean, he was, he's a funny guy. He's somewhere right now telling jokes, having somebody fall out on the floor. It was just his personality, a hard worker, but he definitely was the joker on the court.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the
いや、もう一
sideline.
回中走
Hi,
ってよ。
Kevin. Well, D in that last outing against the Wizards was tremendous. He had 30 points, and all game long he seemed like he couldn't miss from outside
無
the
理
arc,
するなよ
converting。many times from distance. A very solid stat line for him in what was a terrific outing. And you know he wants to keep the momentum going, Kevin.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude.
止める。
I think he will because he takes being a leader seriously, and it shows in how he approaches things at both ends of the floor.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And the Lakers tack on 2 more.
正面から決めてや
And
った
with the
ぜ。
lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
Oh, I do too, Greg. You have to go to your best scorers. I mean,
Yeah, don't
it's a smart strategy, and so far, it's paying off in this game.
Here's Crowder after the made shot from D. Right side Crowder. Here's Napier. Anthony Davis with the rebound.
The rotation in the D could be better here. It'll cost them next time if it's not.
I mean, that
無理
can
か。
happen to anyone.
今の後ろからのダンクもちょっと、
Every time it does.
もう俺を踏み台にしていけ。
Find some place
ガ
to
ッてやっ
hide.
とした
It's almost impossible to miss that.
And so it's Los Angeles, riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter.
さあ、問
Thanks
題
so
のハー
much,
フ
Dave,
タイ
for
ム
the
を過
great
ぎ
interview.
て、一
Don't
回
go
ここで
away,
ね、いつも
folks.
録画を
We'll
停
be
止
back
す
for
るん
the
ですよ。
second half of basketball right after this.
9点だね。
play out a little more evenly here in the
結構
second.
前半の
Nice
方
game,
の動
great
画処理が終わ
performance
った
by
ので
D.
後半戦を
Man,
取
he's
っていき
been
ます
running wild on him.
これで音飛びするようだったらもう
Absolute
無理だ
dynamite on offense.
もうマジで俺には
As
原
they
因が
can't
わから
slow
ない
down, you know what you do? You keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
たまにね前録画してる時にすげえ長時間撮ってるやつは音
Green and
飛びした
LeBron
り
at
しちゃ
the
ったん
2
よ
and the 3. And it's D in at the 1.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Fires the 3. Good, and the assist goes to James. LeBron's got his 4th assist in this one.
Excellent court awareness. James has always had terrific instincts as a playmaker.
Now here's Napier. He has 5. Now Marjanovic. Outside Walden. Here's Napier. A three-pointer off the mark.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
The shot's good from D.
今のはパスでもよかったけ
At
ど
the
ね
offensive end, he's done about as much
あい
as
つ
they
が
could
マ
have
イ
hoped
マー
for
クついとったけど
today.
And coming up as an
Team
only
Tony.
child in difficult circumstances, LeBron James said he had to grow up early, take charge of his life at a young age.
Yeah, and that's what made him such a solid person and a great basketball player. Ever since he sought control of his own destiny, Kevin, he empowered trusted friends along the way. Hey, he's paved a new path for players taking ownership of their careers.
Good, nice play there from Napier.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Timeout called the Lakers.
いやめっちゃラーメン食いたい今
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Marjanovic. Robert Covington comes in for Walden. And Wiggins is subbed in for Culver. The Lakers also making some changes. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Anthony Davis. JaVale McGee comes in for Kyle Kuzma. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Danny Green. And Cousins gets it to go.
And Cousins is such an assured shooter. He definitely has a score-first mentality as soon as he gets the rock.
Napier
いやマ
dishes
ジ
to
で
the
もう
crowd.
どれ
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And out of Marquette, Jay Crowder, Greg, a sturdy two-way wing player.
A great system player
さっ
and
き
glue
からさ
guy.
ちょっと
He
思っ
had
て
his
たんだけ
best
ど
years
前半のうち
with
に
the
気づいて
Celtics.
たんだけど
On the final year of this
いなくない
contract, a great value considering
Pounds.
what he brings to the table.
And you talk about a culture builder. Jay Crowder is a guy who's not content with losing ball games. He's a competitor, and that rubs off on his teammates.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy
まあ
bucket.
リアルの
in
方
the
で
paint.
は
Here's Napier.
もうウォリアーズ
Following
に
the
移籍
basket by
したん
DeMarcus
だけど
Cousins.
これ取り始めた時は違ったからさまだデータ上
Takes
は
the
多分
13-footer.
あ違うウィギンズいる
Basket
わ
good. Wiggins has got his first 2 points
ご
of the
めんごめ
night.
んいたわ
He has a very
Pounds
well-rounded
がいない
offensive game. There's just
どこ
no
行ったんやろ
shortage of ways Wiggins
え
has to
オフ移籍
punish
したこれ
an opponent, inside, outside, or otherwise.
That shot's good from D.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has
見てない
carried
よ
over here
な
tonight.
最近試
Yeah,
合
that's
で
why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of
う
confidence.
まい
That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
今のやりたい
Just good aggressive drive from him that time. Found a hole in the D and went straight to the rim.
うん
Passes it to Cousins. And the Lakers tack on 2 more.
危なかったわスティールされるとこだった今の
Napier with it. 10 points for him. At the elbow, it's Wiggins. Back to Napier.
大丈夫
Great D that time from D.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass
not
today, and there is a glaring
うわやばい
discrepancy between these two
なん
teams
で
in
時
that
期をもっ
area.
と分けよ
Puts the D in a tough
なんでや
spot when you have a point guard
今の
who
もっと
can
巻いてい
throw
い
it
とこやろ
down.
He really does, GA. He really does put
いや
pressure
ど
on
れ
him.
どれ
Hey,
ど
guys,
れ
it's
取
clear
りたい
that he enjoys showing off his athleticism. The D can't give him these opportunities.
And the Timberwolves with possession here. After the basket by the Lakers.
そうスティール
Pass to
のこの試合少ないな
Just 5 on the clock. 3-pointer. That shot
Yes,
no
Bon.
good. So the Lakers will take it the other way. From deep
間
3-point
違えた
range,
危なかった今の
James the pass to D. Knocked loose.
Eh?
The dive for the ball.
Ah,
Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. Clayman, he's checked in for Jay Crowder. And then for Los Angeles, Howard comes in for JaVale McGee. And Bradley's subbed in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Now here's Napier. He's guarded closely.
打ったの
Over to
か
the
い。
wing.
飛んでしまったじゃねえ
Releases.
や。
And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
He makes a lot more of those than he misses. Not sure what threw him off right there.
Here's D, banked in off the glass. D's got 11 in the second half.
This quarter expending tremendous energy at the offensive
Oh,
end. And he's not slowing down. He's still calling for it.
Here's Napier.
いや、
His three-pointers off the mark. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. Back to the action after this word. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And you know, you can always count on him for at least a couple of these pretty assists over the course of a game. And this one, a thing of beauty.
This is how
今日ね、夕方から動画を撮ろうと思ってたんだけど、
Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Murray. Green comes in for Bradley, and it's D in for Rajon Rondo.
ちょっと使ってて、編集終わるの待ったうちに寝ちゃったよね。
Got Walden,
で、今
cover out
起
there
き
with
てすぐ
Andrew
撮って
Wiggins.
るんだけ
Then
ど、
there's
めっ
Bogdanovich,
ちゃ眠いん
and
だよ。
it's Layman in at the small forward.
Yeah,
So
Mark
that's the
Cottas.
Timberwolves 5.
always an adventure from the line. One of the few blemishes on Howard's career.
Chris, over the last 40 years, a steady decline in offensive rebound. Largely due, I'm guessing, to the concern with transition defense, right?
Definitely. And let's give respect to the offensive rebounding that it should have. Whenever you had guys like Rodman, Popeye Jones, guys that used to just, you'd have nightmares about because they were such great rebounders. As well. Now it's a little bit different because those guys were playing the 4 position, right? So now at the 4 position, you have to get back on defense because if you're not, guys are shooting threes from Curry land in the 4 position because the game is evolved. And so now it is better to get back in transition than trying to get an extra possession for your team. You still want to attack the glass. You just want to make sure you know who's in the game at that time because now you have guys leaking out, getting a quick shot on that other end.
D, guarded by Walden. Here's Kuzma, and again it's the Lakers from deep.
An outstanding three-point shooter. Kuzma is a prototype stretch 4. That makes him very valuable.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Wiggins against Green. Puts it up from 7, and Wiggins with the nice bucket inside.
He's so aggressive at that end of the floor. That's the quality all great scorers have.
D passes to Howard. And with the likely return of prep to pro prospects, Chris argued for a high school combine to help determine who's ready to make the leap and who isn't.
I'm not really there with the high school combine. I still think that, you know, you still have a level of college or a level of professionalism that can happen after. And I don't believe until you're ready to be evaluated for the pros immediately, should you have that combine. Your body's still growing. I talked to Jaren Jackson just yesterday, and he told me that he grew 2 inches over last summer. So I think it's a little unfair to judge these guys that early when their bodies and mentality still has a lot of development left.
Here's D. And it's slammed in by Davis.
When he's on the floor, offensive rebounding is always going to be a strength.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And the defense has to be aware of this. When you don't put a body on him, you pay the consequences.
Yeah, nice. Davis sends it back.
He's got that huge wingspan, and boy, does he use it well on the defensive end. If Davis is within shouting distance of the shooter, there's a good chance he'll get a hand on it.
That free throw good from D. Both teams will make substitutions.
厳しかったりする
He
よ。
hits both from the stripe.
あそこはバス
And
ケ
even
や
though Chris
ってる人
Whitehouse
的には
won't
ど
be
うなんだろ
logging
う。
the 35 plus minutes he once did,
一般的
he is
な
still a factor when he's on the
他の
floor.
部活をやってた人間からすると、ああいう角度ぐらいの問題しか見当たらないんだけど、
I like seeing him
今
in
のは
short
右手だ
bursts
と
where you can force the opposing team to adjust to him inside.
ファールをもらいに行こうとするなら左手から右手に持
Murray
ち
with
替
the
えてみた
defensive
いな。
effort. The Lakers controlling the game. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 25. Now the pass to D. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
厳しい。
To the inside. Here's Davis.
ごめんデイビス。
Here's McGee. It's tipped.
いや取れ
Pass to
る。
Layman.
何その音楽。
The
腹
Timberwolves
立つ。
working the ball around now.
やばい。
Here is Bell.
腹立つな。
Passes it to Okogie. From deep. That one misses. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting about Greg, but they never got it.
They sure did. I mean, they just rolled.
いつもよりはちょっと取れてないね。
Really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For David Aldridge,
あ
Greg
でもコインは
Anthony,
だい
and Chris
ぶ
Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.